Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to crack open the PortalFuse weekly KB update report. This one's from April 29th, 2025.
Yeah, and we're zeroing in on those Windows updates that dropped back on April 25th.
Right. We've got, what, 8 KB articles on the list for today?
8 exactly. And our mission, pretty straightforward. Pull out the critical info you seasoned Intune admins really need to know.
Yeah, we're assuming you're already deep in the trenches with endpoint management, so no basic intros needed here. It's going to be technical.
And interestingly, looking through these, there are no CVEs addressed in this particular batch. It's all about features, fixes, that sort of thing.
Mostly focusing on Windows 11 version 24H2 and Windows Server 2025, it seems.
Correct. So where should we start? Maybe KB 505627, the big 24H2 preview update.
Sounds good. That one definitely looks pack a preview, so bleeding edge stuff potentially.
It is. It's broad, and
Yeah.
you can see the Copilot PC focus right away. Things like recall are in preview here.
Recall. That's the AI search across your past activity, right? Apps, sites, docs.
Exactly. From an admin perspective, you're immediately thinking data governance, user activity tracking implications. It's a big one to watch.
No doubt. And there's also click to do mentioned. Taking actions via shortcuts or snipping tool.
Yeah, another AI integration. They're really weaving it into the basic user interaction model.
Which, brings up questions about user support, maybe even training needed down the line.
It does. And even core things like Windows search are getting AI boosts, like semantic indexing, but noted specifically for Copilot Plus devices.
So potential differences in experience based on the hardware you're running.
Potentially, yeah. Something to monitor as these roll out, how search performs across different tiers of machines.
Okay, so beyond the shiny AI features, what else is in this KB? I see narrator speech recap.
Right, an accessibility enhancement, and also some phone link integration, like directly in the start menu. Quality of life stuff.
Always good to see. But for IT, the bug fixes are usually where the real gold is. What's fixed here?
Well, there's a fix for that blue screen error, 0x18b. That cropped up for some after the April security updates.
Ah, good. That caused some noise.
Definitely. Also fixes for intermittent internet drops after resuming from sleep related to the DHCP client service. That should cut down help desk calls.
Always welcome. Anything else major?
There's one for unexpected system stops linked to redirected network VHDX user profiles. That sounds like a potential headache averted.
Yeah, profile issues are never fun.
And also a fix for Windows, hello facial recognition or PIN logins failing after a reset. Plus, ensuring sysprep updates boot files correctly for 24H2 deployments, crucial for imaging.
Right, getting those base images solid.
But one more key thing about KB 50505627, it bundles the servicing stack update. That's KB 50566659 for this round. Got to keep that engine tuned.
Absolutely. Okay, let's move on. There's a group here, KB 505, 8685, 686, and 687, all about image processing AI components, but for different vendors.
Exactly. 685 is Qualcomm, 686 is Intel, and 687 is AMD. It really shows Microsoft tailoring optimizations for the silicon.
So enhancing image stuff like scaling, foreground, background extraction, but optimized differently depending on the chip.
Precisely. Fine-tuning for the hardware. You see high impact listed for scaling across the board.
But medium for extraction on Intel and AMD, while Qualcomm just says high overall for image processing. A slight nuance there.
Yeah, could reflect different optimization levels or maybe just how they're categorizing the impact for each platform.
Interesting. Okay, next up, KB 5058688 Phi Silica AI component. Also sounds very specific.
It is. Again, for Qualcomm-powered Copilot Plus PCs on 24H2, Phi Silica, that's their transformer-based local language model.
On-device LLM, basically.
Right. So this update, version 1.7.824.0, is about optimizing that model. Better performance, efficiency, right on the device itself. High impact noted.
Makes sense for those specific machines. All right, KB 5055643, dynamic update for setup binaries, applies to both 24H2 and Server 2025.
Yeah, think of this as prep work for future upgrades. It updates the core setup files to make those big feature updates smoother, fewer errors, hopefully.
Sort of greasing the wheels for the upgrade process.
Exactly. Medium impact on the binaries themselves, low on file usage optimization, incremental improvements.
Got it. Then we have KB 5057781, labeled as a critical update for Windows recovery environment.
And this one is very specific. It's for ARM64 Copilot plus PCs that have secure launch enabled.
Okay, what critical issue does it fix for them?
It fixes a problem where WinRE just wouldn't start after installing the April security update, KB 5055523. A non-working recovery environment is, well, bad news.
Definitely bad news. So this is a crucial fix for that subset of devices.
Extremely. And they give a version check, too. WinRE should be 10.0.26100.3911 after you apply this, so you can verify it took.
Good to have the confirmation. Okay, last one on the list, KB5059093, an update for the out-of-docs experience, again for 24H2 and Server 2025.
Yep, this is all about refining that very first setup process when a user gets a new machine, or after a reset, making OBE smoother.
Trying to nail that first impression and minimize those initial setup hiccups, high impact makes sense there.
Right, a smooth start is always better.
Okay, so we've gone through all 8. Looking back at this whole batch, what are the main themes jumping out, especially for us managing enterprise fleets with Intune?
Well, the biggest, loudest theme is obviously AI enablement and optimization, especially for Copilot plus hardware. You see it with Recall, Click to Do, and those dedicated AI component updates.
And the fact they're tailored per vendor, Qualcomm, Intel, AMD, that's a key point to a platform-specific tuning.
Absolutely. Second big theme is just continued focus on stability and reliability. Fixing that BSOD, the network connectivity bug, the WinRE critical issue, these maintain core functionality.
Yeah, the bread and butter stuff that keeps things running.
And third, I'd say refinements to core OS processes. The setup binaries update, the OBE improvements, even bundling the SSU. It's about making the platform itself more robust, easier to manage and update moving forward towards 24H2 and Server 2025.
So no security patches this time, but definitely a forward-looking set of updates. Lots of groundwork being laid, particularly for AI integration.
Precisely. It really paints a picture of where Windows is heading, with AI becoming much more deeply integrated at the OS level, especially on that new generation of hardware.
Which leads to a thought, maybe for you listening. With AI embedding itself this deeply into the OS, what new challenges, but also what new opportunities do you foresee for endpoint management in the next year or so? Something to chew on.
Definitely something to think about as these changes start rolling out more widely.